Well, good morning. I am back on vlogging, so this video is going to be another part 2 of crocheting together the squares that the creators that watch my channel sent in. I'm going to be using the Lion brand Pound of Love, and I did do some since I was since the first video. I did make some do some edging on some other squares. This morning I have, let's see, this is regular coffee with raspberry mocha. Peppermint mocha creamer, and I'm using the cup that Cindy sent me. I don't know if you can see. She assured me that I can use it because she's sending me a second one. Oh my gosh, can you believe that? So I'm gonna go ahead and get some tools out because I put everything away the other day. I'm using an H5, 5mm on this project. I'm gonna bring out a bunch of stuff out of here. This is a El Grey bag that I got last Christmas. I don't remember now. She's made me a lot of them. She's such a sweetheart. So let's go back to the 13 squares that were 7 inches. This one is not done yet. I have 3 left to do that are the 7 inches. So we'll put those back here for a minute. I went ahead and I did, let's see, when I was on camera, I believe I did this one. That one was done. We did 2 rows. So I will go ahead and show you the ones that I have finished while we were off camera. 2 rows on that. 2 rows on that one. 2 rows on that one. That one. Yeah, I've been busy. I did them all that day after that petite one. Look at that. Beautiful. And this one was Dana at Wanderlust Crochets. I can remember some of them, and I'm sorry that I can't remember all of them because there's so many, and I love them all. They're all so nice. And then this last one. So we did, I think, one, yes, this one. This one was an 8-inch square, and I did 1 row on that. Now I'm hoping that this is all in view. Yes, I guess it is. So today I'm going to work on a couple, and I think I'm going to work on this one just because it's different and it'll give you something to look at. So yesterday we were on the live and people were commenting on the vlog and this and that, and I'm like, oh my gosh, you guys really like this. I can't believe it. So that's how I do my corner. Hopefully that was in view. I start with a single crochet. This is just this project. Chain 3, single crochet in the corner, and then I'm going to chain 1 and skip 1. And of course this is someone else's work, so it's very very different than what I would go back into my own work, so it's going to take me a second to get used to it again. But this is what I was doing with this outside edge. And so anyway, everybody was commenting on the setup of the vlog and the tutorial, or whatever you want to call it. And I mentioned that there was a stand-up light fixture that I've been able to walk around the room. I bought it so I could walk it around the room. And so I didn't even think about hooking my ring light, which also has a phone, what do you call, vice grip for your phone, on that stand, which would also elevate it over the top of the table. And now I have that set up. So that's how this is farther away from my work, and now it's over the top. I mean, I already had the tools and didn't even realize it. So, excuse me. So I hope that you have grabbed a whip and that you are crocheting with me, because I have desire to, have some people. I have an idea who does that, and they tell me in the comments that they grabbed a whip and that they are joining me, which is awesome. I wish all of you would comment. I did notice there were, split that again. That's the second time I've done that. I think it's just when I jerk and don't think about, some of you commented, and I noticed that there was a lot of new people that I hadn't seen comment before, and I thought, oh my gosh. So that is really cool. And one person told me in the live, that would be Tina, that, oh my gosh, she didn't see her squares. And I was like, did she send them? I thought she did, because, like I said, there was, I don't know, there's like 25 people that sent in squares. So as you can see, these are tight stitches. They're very tight. To get my H hook in there, it's given me a fit. So anyway, she looked in her car, and sure enough, she hadn't sent in her squares. So that's exciting to know that we still have squares that actually were supposed to be here. It's kind of a cute thing, a story I just wanted to share with you. And so Tina says that she's going to send them in, and a couple other people said they would send either another one or two. So yes, we will have more squares added to this blanket, so that's exciting too. What else happened yesterday? Oh, that's right. I showed my sparkle hat, and I had my lights all on and facing toward me, and it was quite washed out. So I was going to show you that hat today under these lights and see if it comes out so that you can see it better. And I'm going to do that in just a second. The other thing was, we were talking about making, well, I said I was going to make a hat for Felicity for her birthday. And I thought, well, you know what? I wouldn't mind doing that in this setting on a vlog. So I'm excited about it. I might even start it today. I don't know. It's my day off, and I really wanted to crochet, and I really wanted to do a vlog. So I thought, what better day than to sit and do both, you know, work on something and also do it with you guys. So if you are interested, I'm going to set this down just for a second. I'm going to be using 6mm US 10 16-inch circular needles to make Felicity's hat, and you can use anything, you know, anything between what, 6 to 7. I'm sure that'll work too. I'm going to be using a bulky 5. This is Lots of Halo, and it is a 51 acrylic polyamide and wool blend. It is the buttercream angel hair. It has 110 yards on it, and I'm going to be making her hat on a vlog. So if you would like to join me, you could gather those up, 2 supplies up, and the next time, I think it's going to be the next time, I'll cast on that hat with everyone. And I think that's going to be fun to do together. I will probably do half of the brim, come back, and then do half of the body and come back and then finish it up. But it should all be in one video for you. But so it'll be probably three settings for me. So anyway, it does not want to go in and come back through without splitting. I'm not going to put a chain one there if you're watching. Hopefully I'm staying in frame this time with it being farther away from the camera. We'll find out, won't we? Trial and error. We will find out. Because I cannot put it low enough for me to actually see into the view to see what's going on. But I set it up so that it catches, like from here to here to here. It's catching, so I should be able to stay in camera the whole time. But if not, live and learn, and keep trying, right? Doesn't take too long to get around one of these squares when I'm talking. No, not at all. Got a beautiful day today too for the day off. Some people are going to the parade. The high school bands are having a marching band competition, I guess, at the Columbus Day parade downtown. I don't have any kids in band, and I don't know anybody anymore that is in our band, our school, but our school is competing. I heard it on, well, I think on Facebook they put something up. So that's kind of great for the kids to get out and compete again. Getting down to the end. One more. And we have the froggy completely slip stitch there. Go ahead and cut it, and we're going to sew in the ends because that's what I like to do, because I don't want to do 100 of them at once at the end. So I just go ahead and do it right now. I'm going to keep it into the white or cream part. Don't pull it too tight. Flatten it back down again. Skip one of the stitches over. Go back and forth to secure those ends. And then one last time. Let's see, what else can I talk about? You know, I thought this vlogging was going to be easy because I said I can talk all day long, right? And then you get going and start a project and start working on it, and you come up with nothing to talk about. Ay, ay, ay. Oh my goodness. So we're getting there. I already have, what, 10? Let's see. I have 11 done, so this is number 12. There we go. Number 12 is now the Mr. Frog. Yeah. All right. Wonderful. So I said yesterday I made this sparkle hat, or I showed this sparkle hat, and I thought that it was blowing out the camera, so I went ahead and brought it out today so that you can see it. And I'm hoping that you can see the actual sparkle. So this was wool, what did I call, the Loops and Threads wool something. Yeah, now I can't remember what it was. And I didn't write the whole description on the label. Oh yes, I did. Look at that. Cozy wool and a sparkle held together, 50% wool, 50% acrylic, and it is the color fleece. Recommends hand wash only, lay flat to dry. And this is my tag that I put on all of my things when I take them to the craft fair. And I put them on with an easy removable piece of yarn, unless I don't have any left over. But I usually use a piece of yarn that matches. That way they can keep it if they want. And then this one has, this one's a knit. This one has a removable pom-pom with a snap. I love using these. It makes the user be able to take them off and save that pom-pom for a long time. So, and then, yeah, just fluff them up and they just fluff right up. Fluff right back up. You can hit them with a hair dryer if you want to, but that sparkle filigree that I used had these little sequins all the way through it, and that's why I wanted to try it. And my gosh, that came out so lovely. And I can't believe is that I didn't break the filigree, the thread, anytime while I was making the hat. That I cannot believe. So hopefully that came out better for you to see that. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and work on this one. This one had I think it was one of the very first ones I got, and it came from New York, a girl in New York, and she sent me a stitch marker that says New York on it, and I thought that that was appropriate for a blanket that was put together by someone who lives in New York State. So what I planned on was leaving that stitch marker right on that square, and that way you will know which square actually was hers. And if you want to go back through the Addictions videos and find who that was, you can, but there's another way to know who that was, and that is over on the Facebook page. There is a post in the announcements that says it's for me to post who sent in squares, and that way I found it easier later when I want to draw a winner. I'm going to draw it from my post there. So what I did was I took pictures of the squares as I received them, and I posted them in that announcement. And so if you look back there, you will see who it was that sent me this New York square, and I will also be able to look back there and see it too. So my memory doesn't always, retain all of that information, but that way I could just go back and look. So if you want to see all the squares sent in so far, that's the easiest way, is to look at that post. And I will leave that post up and continue to add everyone that sends in a square onto there. And when I get done with the blanket, I will also add pictures on there when it's done. And then that way that post will stay in the group even after I take off the announcement. It'll still be saved in the group, and the photos. And all of the things that I've done over the last couple years on there will also be in there. I've never deleted anything. I've just taken off the announcement. So I found that if you go into search the group and put in words that will bring up things that are old, like old make-alongs and things like that, and they are still there. They're buried in the feed. So like, well, that's great. It's a great idea. Yeah, so this is one of the ones that I'm going to put 2 rows on. So we'll go ahead and stay on camera for this one again. Some of the yarns are so similar to this Lion Brand Pound of Love that I'm looking to see whether I missed something. Yep, right there. I'm going to go back because I don't want it to pull so tight. And I went ahead and went in the stitch, and I'm going to go ahead and go in between because it's pulling. Wait a minute. Okay. It's pulling too tight by skipping that far over. And what I found is that I have plenty of stitches, and I get to the end and it's asking me I'm not coming out even, so I just ran it backwards, and it's still not coming out even. What did I do now? I could have put one there, I guess. Let's do this. Put one right there, Yeah, so there's no rules here. You can do them whatever way that you want. And as you feel, like I can feel that it's tightening up. So rather than bring it too tight, rip it out and go back and redo it before you go on. You have to kind of make your way when you're doing squares that a whole bunch of people made all different ways, because otherwise it would make you crazy if you thought you were going to make it perfect, because you're not going to make it perfect. But I'll tell you what, when you get that whole project done and it's all in a whole, I'm sure that any kind of little things that you thought you needed to make perfect are never going to be noticed by anybody. It's just going to be just beautiful to them, or just amazing to them. And so I think that now, I'm not saying they're mistakes, but little imperfections are part of what makes a handmade item so different and treasured, because that's what we are made up of, is differences. And it shows that a lot of people had a hand in, and that's what they used to do when somebody got married. They would plan it, and a whole bunch of girls would get together in the community, and they would make things for her to have in her new home. And so everyone would sit and do a quilt and sit around together and support each other and make her a quilt, and it was made up in no time. And they had enough people and enough, to do one for everyone that was in their community when they got married, or whenever they needed. So maybe they did, oh, so-and-so's having a baby, let's make a couple things up for her. So therefore, I think we should try and keep those traditions if we can, and support each other like that. And I don't know, it seems as though those things are not always still going on. Some of the young girls are so busy with their jobs and running here and running there to try to keep up with the world that they don't have time to learn crafts. And it's too bad. I mean, but yet then I see some young girls that say they are trying to learn it, and I'm like, oh, good. And then there was one girl that said that she learned how to crochet in her school. I'm like, really? Regular high school. Now, I don't recall anything but sewing, and it was so little of a time that I really didn't learn a lot. I made a skirt. We had just enough time to make a skirt, but if you think about the piece of material that it would take and the amount of stitches it would take to make a wrap-around skirt, it's like, now that I think about it, it's like a piece of material with a couple of hems on it, and that's it. I couldn't possibly have learned a lot and to retain it very long. So I really don't think that counts. I mean, I couldn't make it today. I couldn't probably make it a year after I learned, because I didn't learn enough. And I think it did come out kind of but I do remember that our home ec teacher, I think this was 7th grade, I think, took us to the mall. And I do recall they had a Joann, I think, Fabrics in the mall at the time. Maybe not, but it was, I definitely went to the mall. And I also remember that wherever we went did not stay open up there very long. And you know, a lot of people said that opening a store in the mall was very expensive. And that's why a lot of stores come and go. And then you see the mall close and you wonder, well, to me that's just greedy. Wouldn't you rather have a thriving mall and have plenty of stores in your area, you know, in your land, to have the mall open, than to be greedy and try and, you know, charge such high prices that nobody can can afford to stay in your mall? I mean, that, to me, that just makes sense. Let's make it so that people stay. And they can't. But then, you know, our area started to lose people because some of our industries had moved out of the area and stuff. So that didn't help. But yet we can keep small malls on the other side of the river open, no problem. And I think because, again, they're charging less, and you're going to go where there's more stores to shop in, so that's where they go now. I mean, yes, our mall is still open, but there are not as many stores in the mall as there used to be, and there are a lot of empty spaces. And, you know, I really wish that it was full of stores, because when they offer a week where you can go, a weekend where you can go and set up booths, that there's more traffic. Right now, you don't get very many people walking by your booth if you go to the mall, and it's like, ugh, I really would like to go there. And if they don't have a craft fair or whatever there, then I would like to establish one, you know. So that is my thoughts on that. If I am not on 34 minutes, okay, yes. Okay, I've got to... I stopped it. And the reason why I stopped it was because my camera will stop at 33 minutes, I think, and then start again. But when I splice those later on, what happens is that the sound in this video doesn't match. So rather than that happen, I would just turn it off and turn it back on. And then that way I can just splice them together and they're fine. Okay, so yeah, I would just go down and sign up to have a craft fair there, and run it myself if they didn't have one scheduled. But the problem is, like I said, people aren't going to the mall as much. The last time that I did one there, it was a 3-day event, and she charged us it was $100 a day. And then if you picked all 3 days, you saved quite a bit. She would give you a 3-day bundle. Well, that was fine, but like I said, there wasn't that much traffic. And to me, you'd have to have, in order to make that worthwhile, you'd have to have like $1,000 weekend to justify that. And I almost did, but it could have been better. Especially when I was the last one on the end, all the way down to where there was no stores at that point. And so you had to want to come and see all the craft tables to go down there. It wasn't a place where everyone was walking by. So there's that. So this one's done now. And gonna have to do another row on it, and I went and finished it too. I shouldn't have done that, huh? Yep, I'm going to have to do a third row on this one. All right, well, again, live and learn. It's just 8 inches now, so yeah, one more row on this one. All right, we'll do another row. Not a problem. And these are all matching up fairly good. So, all right. I also did this one yesterday, or the other day, and I decided to block this one because this pattern pulls your yarn in, pulls your pattern in, and I'm going to go ahead and take it off the blocker now because I see that it is dry. So why not do that? Talk to you and should tell you that yes, I am going to be blocking a couple of them. I have already blocked a couple that I got before I even did the edging. And I did it because it wasn't coming out 8 and it was, yeah, so that's better. Much better. And those points will go away as soon as we go around and join them. So that one's done now. That's beautiful. All right. Okay, well, let's pick it back up and add another row to this one. And I shouldn't have cut it. I was talking, and that's the way it goes, right? That is the way it goes. We'll just start right back in and do another row. Oh my. So let's see what else. So craft fair. So I did one not this last weekend, but the weekend before, and I think the weather was just too nice that day and we didn't get a lot of traffic, but it was still worth going. The next one I have is in November, and there should have been something between the two, but that church I think has decided not to go back yet and do it. And it's too bad because it's real close to where I work. And unless they decided that they would move it up into December, which they might have, and they will let me know. Usually they keep you on the mailing list, and that's nice. There are a couple that don't keep you on the mailing list if you miss or whatever. I don't know exactly what they do. I think what happens is they have a committee at the schools, and that committee changes, and when they pass on the duties to take care of the fundraiser, that person just decides if people want to, you know, come to the fundraiser or be a vendor at the fundraiser, then they'll see the flyer and they'll let me know. No, that doesn't always work because we don't remember and we may not see it. So if you do run one of these things, it would be a good idea to at least send an email, maybe with the flyer attached, to your people that came the year before or 2 years before, because it only takes one family event to make you say, you know what, that means I can't go to that event this year. And you really want to, but you can't. So you miss one and then you're off the mailing list. And to me, that's not fair. You know, you should at least go back 2 years and give them a chance, because a lot of times just missing one and you can't get back in. Now you have to start the rotation all over again, and it's just it's so hard to get back into some of the schools that you really like. And then there is another one coming up in December, I think, yeah, that I definitely want to go to, that are still what they call they're saying that they're undecided because by that date they might not know whether they can. So again, the committee doesn't want to take everybody's applications and then have to turn them back and say no. Well, it's better to take them and then cancel and not cash the checks than to not take them and not have anything planned, and now you could do it and you don't have time. So it's all in what way you look at it, I guess. But yeah, I usually do 5 or 6 every other weekend if I can. But when they get backed up and there's Saturday, Sundays the same weekend, it makes it hard on everybody. But I have done it before that way. I've done Saturday, Sunday, and then the following Friday, Saturday. Yeah, that's craziness, right? But I've done it, and it makes for no inventory is what happens, because there's no time in between to make up anything. I have sat for a day and made 3 or 4 or 5 towels up, and every time I've done that, because I was low, the very next sale I went to, nobody bought any. So you think that you're, doing a good thing and spending your whole day building your inventory back up, just to find out that nobody wanted them at that sale anyway. So I just don't know. I know some of you can relate to this, and that's why I'm trying to keep conversations going that you can relate to. But then there's other times, literally this has happened, where there were times where I didn't have time to fill that inventory back up, and other vendors have said to me, oh my gosh, I came running over here the minute I saw you were here, because I really liked your towels that I bought last year, and I was waiting for you to get here, and I wanted to be the first one to buy, choice wise from you, and then I turned around and didn't have any because I had sold them the week before. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You just don't know what's going to sell and when it's going to sell. So when I say to myself, oh, I've only got one table, what am I going to take? I still fill the car with everything that will fit. Because even if you can't put it out on the table, someone might say, oh, I saw you at such and such, don't you have this? And you might have it in the car because you went ahead and you brought it anyway. So there we go. That's better. Better. That froggy is going to be a little bit bigger, but it's not going to matter as long as they're about 8.5. It's not going to matter, because I am going to do the chain 1. The chains, actually I'm thinking about it, chain 1 or chain 2, but I'm going to be doing this border all the way through the whole blanket. So that will leave us a little bit of easement throughout the whole connecting. Okay, I think I'm going to stop for today, and I don't know, maybe I'll do one more. Let's see. Let's do one out of the bag. Let's see. Let's take out the first one on the top. Let's do a purple one. Why not? Well, this one I'm only going to do 1 row because these are all ready 8. Yeah. And then we will call it a day. As far as the vlog, I appreciate all of you. Any comments below, I read them all. Absolutely do. And I enjoy everybody's comments a lot. Um, huh. That is weird. This pattern is a little different. I'm not sure where to put the next one. See that? Yeah, see, I'm going to pull it too much. I don't want to. I want to use the space here as a stitch, I guess. And there's one, and it's in there. Skip one, it's in there. Skip that, and that's too much. So we'll go back. We'll skip the space, but not the stitch. Skip the stitch and not the space. And we'll skip the stitch, and then we'll go right into one space and not the stitch. Yeah, this is better. See, that's what I said about ad-libbing. You have to decide on. Okay. And can't talk and chew gum at the same time, right? Okay, we just go right in here. Yeah, see how that ended up not coming out even, which is fine. It's fine. Let's think about it in a minute. How can we make it better? Well, we can do this. There. Better, flatter, more even. There we go. No one's going to ever see it. That those weren't in exactly every other stitch. Yes, it's a definite challenge, one I am enjoying very much. And I hope you are too. Alright, so let's see, yeah. Can't skip that and the stitch because it's just too wide of a gap. So that's why we're doing that. I think I'm going to take a lunch break and upload this video and then turn around and maybe cast on the hat. That will mean that will not be done today, but it will give you something to look forward to, and that you know that I started it. But I like I said, I don't know whether I'll have enough of it done this week to be actually in this week's uploaded videos, but we'll see. We will see, because I have a lot of evenings where I have a half an hour here, half an hour there, that I might be able to I'm looking at this and I'm thinking that was a weird jump from there to there. That was weird. But I hope that you don't get bored with them. That's my only problem. I'm like thinking that's too big of a jump there too. Sitting and watching or crocheting together may sound like it's a cool idea, and then all of a sudden you're like, I don't want to do this anymore, this is boring, and then oh, see, it didn't come out again. I'll do one more. do one more in there so it will. There we go. I'm gonna do it. There we go. Only got another half a side here, or whatever, one side, and we are done with another one. So I'm looking forward to some new squares coming in this week, possibly. And then, whoops, completely blew that one. Where was I? I was going here. Yes, new squares coming in. I will open those packages on an addictions video and show them, or I might just say, oh, I'm gonna open them on one of these vlogs and do it that way. I'm not sure, but either way, you will see me open those packages when they come. And look at that, we actually got to the end of another square together. Oh wow, that is awesome. Can't believe how many I did already. Just started, and only in one weekend, and I already did, you know, several squares. It's amazing. But I think it's because I was doing them on the videos, and it makes it so fun. Time just goes so quickly. That is a beautiful square. Very pretty. Very pretty. So I'll be sewing these together soon enough. If I keep up this pace, right? I'll probably not keep it up, but something might come up where I can't get to it for a little while, and then, well, it'll get delayed, but that's okay, because alright. So let me know in the comments if your square appeared on the camera yet, and if you are going to send one, you haven't sent one yet, that's fine. Just let me know in the comments, because I'm going to start thinking about setting a time for that drawing, for that that skein of yarn, Outlander inspired yarn, that I am going to give away for sending in a square. I don't want to wait too much longer, because the girls are the ones that sent in the squares earlier, excited, they want to see it. But I also don't want to have people miss out on it. So I had said the deadline was going to be September, and then I extended it because I didn't have enough squares yet. And so there is another one done. All right, I will talk to y'all later, and please take a moment out of each day and be creative. Talk to you later. Bye now.